What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Infamously Speaking. I'm Matt Rosa here to react to Game 5 of the NBA Finals. But before I jump into it, for a couple things I want to cover. First, if you're not subscribed to the Infamously Speaking YouTube channel, please go ahead and do us that favor. Also, hit that notification bell so you'll get notified whenever we drop new content. Second, if you're not following us on our social platforms, you can find those in the description. Please go ahead and do so. TikTok, X, Instagram, communities all across have been popping. Love the conversation that we've been able to have with each other. We might even do a giveaway at the end of these NBA Finals. So stay tuned. You're going to miss out if you're not following us on our socials. So make sure you are. Don't miss out. Lastly, Infamously Speaking merch is live. Go and get you some. Get ready for this summer with these nice lightweight tees. Okay, let's jump into Game 5. We're going to start exactly where we should, and that is with J-Dub, 40-piece McNugget against the Indiana defense. And he was incredible throughout the entire game. And really, him and Shea, best 1-2 punch in the NBA, honestly. And I thought about this, right? This is not me being prisoner of the moment, because he's shown us multiple times he's capable of doing this. This by far has been his best playoff game, I think, start to finish. He was incredible, decisive, efficient, pressed the issue when he needed to, slowed it down when he needed to, got others involved when he needed to. He was phenomenal. Him and Shea, best 1-2 punch in the league. Have to be. And the best part of it is this. They're both young, and I know people are like, oh, Luka, Bron. I don't want to hear that. MVP and a guy who plays like an MVP when their team needs him to. And also incredible on the defensive side of the ball. He was money. SGA, of course, was SGA. And the thing that we said, if you watched last reaction, was he finished with no assists last game. And so what I said was, I'm going to be looking for him to get his teammates involved early and often. Well, 10 assists. He was the co-star. He was J-Dub's co-star today. And just a 31-point double-double. Yeah, something light for the MVP. Just incredible. And then, of course, contributions all around. Wiggins and Wallace were awesome off the bench. Typical, though. That role players play better at home. Caruso, 2 points. Like, oh, but he only had 2 points. His defensive intensity was incredible. 4 steals. He had that one where he kind of jumped the lane and got the steal off Pascal, like middle of the fourth quarter. That just lit up the crowd and really allowed OKC to pull away. So he's just an incredible player, trustworthy. Obviously, Dagnall loves him. Team loves him. They know that he's going to make the right play and just make sure. They know he's going to make the right play. So let's move to Indiana. Tyrese Haliburton is the story of discussion. Not because he had 4 points. Not because he was 0 for 6 not because he was 0 of 6 from the field. Obviously, Shams reporting something's going on with his knee. He was seen walking, limping around the locker room after game 2. So a couple ways that you could look at it. First and foremost, we want the guy to get healthy. Whatever the injury is to his knee, you want him to get healthy as soon as possible. And hopefully it could be for a game 6. But it seems like it's something that's been bothering him since game 2, according to Shams. And it looked like he re-aggravated something in that first quarter when he fell down, had that kind of awkward slip, and didn't really have the normal kind of acceleration, burst, lift on the shot that maybe we would expect him to have. And so here's where 2 things can't be true. So he went out and still played 34 minutes, which is second most on the Pacers, and I believe close third, fifth, close. He played 34 minutes, which was second most on the Indiana Pacers. If he's compromised to the level like this, and you see what McConnell's doing, and McConnell was phenomenal in the game. I mean, he was the reason Indiana was able to get back into it. Yes, I know Pascal led the team with 28, but McConnell was the spark plug that got them going when they were down big, with timely buckets, keeping the pace that they want to play with. I think that's what's so huge about TJ, is that he's able to come off the bench and not even inject, but keep the same pace, or even inject a little bit more life into the team exactly when they need it. But if I'm Haliburton, or if I'm the Pacers, here's how you have to look at it. Is it's awesome in quotes that he's playing through injury, right? Like it shows that he cares and that he's for his team and that he understands the moment. But if the injury is compromising you so much that you turn into Where's Waldo on the court, then you're better off scaling back the minutes. And if you can, scaling up McConnell's minutes, especially in game 6, if he's not feeling better, right? Credit Indiana for being able to battle back. But there wasn't a point in this game, even when Indy cut it to 2, especially with the way J-Dub was playing, where I was like, yeah, OKC's not losing this game. OKC wasn't losing the game. Their defensive intensity was just too much. It was just too much. And they started hitting shots in the 4th as well. So, unfortunately, I think the series is over. I think it's going to be over. Game 6, I predicted OKC in 6. I think they close it out in Indiana. Obviously, they've proven that they can win there. What Indiana needs to be able to do to stave off elimination is they got to play a full game. They got to play a full game. I love the fact that they feel like they can come back from anything, but you can't only score 45 points in the first half. You know the kind of game you want to play. The second half, they were able to pick it up. But they need that intensity throughout the entire game. They need to be able to play that way. Now, part of that is the OKC intensity, because I felt like in that third quarter, I'm not sure if y'all felt the same way, it kind of seemed like OKC's attention to detail and intensity kind of dropped. Indiana was able to get to more of those 50-50 balls, more offensive rebounds, more extra possessions. They're just energized. Felt like their offense was going, and part of that felt like OKC was kind of dialing it back a little bit. Indiana needs to play a full game. And for OKC to close it out, it's the same deal. They need to play a full game. Awesome first half, and then they go in this kind of lull, it felt, into that third quarter, which allowed Indiana to get close. Now, I understand a lot of the cutting into the lead happened with Shea on the bench. But I don't think we're going to see that in game 6. The closeout game, I don't think Dagnall's going to be like, well, we got game 7 back at the crib. You don't want game 7 back at the crib. Anything can happen in the game 7. Listen, as a Knicks fan, I remember last year's game 7 against Indiana where they shot plus north of 60% and killed us. You don't want a game 7 with any team because anything can happen. Anything can happen in any game. You don't want a game 7. So what do? You gotta, even if that means playing Shea a little bit more. I mean, he played 38 minutes. He was the game high. But if that means Shea doesn't get as much rest, or you kind of front load a little bit of Shea's rest, especially if some of the other players got it cooking, like if J-Dubs has it cooking again and Chet has it cooking, Chet is going to have a big game, I think, in game 6, so that SJ can get kind of that rest. They're going to want to come up and build up that lead again, but they can't have these third quarters where Indiana comes out with more intensity than them, especially on the road. You don't want that. You don't want that. Indiana already showed you they're not scared. They're not going to back down. Doesn't matter what punch you throw at them. And so the critical part for OKC in game 6 to close it out is you got to smother them. Get up early. Keep the pressure on. If you got, like I said, if you got to front load some of Shea's rest, do it. If you're Shea, get your teammates going early so you can get that rest, so you don't have, again, these long third quarter kind of like swoons where you're up double digits and then Indiana cuts it to in this game too, and they feel real confident about themselves. So to wrap it up, I got OKC closing out the series on Thursday in Indy. OKC in 6. Let me know who you got in the comments below. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Appreciate y'all. And as always, think critically, speak infamously. Love.